Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is, what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. Welcome back to the I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we explore power, identity, and women building what's next. I'm your host, Anna Anisin, and today's conversation is about something we don't talk about enough, at the intersection of performance, discipline, and the small habits that shape how we show up every day. Because success isn't just built in big moments, right? It's built in routines no one else sees. Today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Gabriella Arancio.
Yeah,
yes.
Gabby,
I'm going to call you Gabby.
Call me Gabby, everybody. But yeah, Arancio.
Founder of GamePlan Skincare. And if you haven't heard about this skincare, it's a brand redefining what she calls performance hygiene for the next generation of athletes. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Excited to dive in.
And after spending a decade training elite college athletes, Gabriella saw a gap no one was paying attention to. While athletes had plans for strength, speed, and recovery, nobody was thinking about their skin.
Nobody.
Which is so important.
But I was.
Yes, that's why it looks so great.
I am the face of the brand, so
yes,
keep it tight.
Yes, of course. And yet, this is such a big part of your performance, your skin, right? Because you're sweating through the skin. It's the biggest organ that you have. So This is a conversation about discipline, building habits, creating something from lived experience, and how the smallest details can have the biggest impact. Yay, I'm so excited to have you, Gabby.
Finally.
Thank you so much for being here. I know we're trying to reschedule this, but we made it.
We made it here. It's going to be so much fun.
So before we dive into all this amazing stuff that you're doing with a skin brand, can you tell me about, New York. Okay, let's just give it up for
Vixen 4.
Yes.
I had to wear it. I don't get to whip it out often, but this is such
I love this. Is like such a fashionable one. It's like very like.
Oh yeah, it was actually, I picked it up at Fanatics Fest last year in New York City, and they had exclusive drops, and you could only get it there. So I was like, I must have it.
So tell us, where you're from, where did you grow up, and kind of like what brought you to this. What you're doing today.
Kind of a non-traditional path to entrepreneurship, but I'm from which that's how the best things come, from lived experience. So I'm from New Jersey, proudly from New Jersey. Yes. I went to University of Miami for college. That's what brought me here. I spent 4 years here, 4 great years, decided I did not want to sit behind a desk and that I wanted to be on a field all day. So that led me to the football field. I worked as an athletic trainer, moved on to LSU football, which is really where this idea came from, and spent 4 years there, came back to this beautiful city where sweat is so celebrated, which is perfect as I launched this brand. So that's what brought me back to Miami.
I love this. Well, you've spent years working closely with elite athletes. When did you first realize there was a gap in something so basic like skincare?
Well, honestly, it was because they kept asking me.
Really?
So some of the freshmen especially didn't have a car. So my first year with football was as a graduate assistant. So I would be in charge of driving them to appointments and, bringing them and taking notes and then documenting everything that happened. And through those car rides, one of those appointments I was doing a lot of, it seemed at the time, was dermatologist. And it would be that lack of education for them, but it was also me genuinely trying to make conversation, like, what's your skincare routine? How can I help you? And all of them were saying they were washing their face, and some of them weren't, they're boys. But most of them were saying, yes, I'm washing my face. And I said, okay, I know you are because I'm buying you the products. But then it turned into, okay, I really started to notice this behavioral gap between the point of sweat and the shower. And it was hours sometimes that these guys were sitting with sweat on their face. So they could do another workout after practice. They could talk to coach. But then I started to apply it to myself and realized that I didn't always shower after I sweat immediately. And every minute truly matters when it comes to skincare and the bacteria build. So that's really where this all came from. And I said, why is no one else doing this? And why is no one making a brand for athletes that speaks to them, speaks their language, but can be carried from youth to pro? And that's how this idea really started.
I love that. That's how you do it. And you call this performance hygiene, which everybody loves, and I think that's great. What does that actually mean, and why should we be thinking about this differently?
Yeah, so hygiene is a practice, it's a habit, but we're really defining performance hygiene in between the intersection of skincare and sports recovery.
It's kind of like you're literally creating your own category.
I'm defining a new category because it's not, there's tons of products out there, and there's tons and our ingredients are proprietary to us. Like, we did something that nobody else has done, but it's to help people form these simple, easy habits around hygiene that we usually start young and take with us for life.
Yep.
So that's really where I'm defining this category, and it's just something that you don't think about when you think about your own practice. Like, washing your face is hygiene. It's a daily ritual, and it's a daily ritual that a lot of people
you do it more than once sometimes.
Yeah, but it's the same way. I always say to, like, especially the kids, because we do a lot with kids, because we want them to establish things early and bring it with them for life. So for a lot of the kids, I just tell them the same way you brush your teeth twice a day. You use GamePlan after you sweat to prevent acne and sport-induced breakouts from occurring. So that's the habit we're forming around hygiene.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. And you're not really we're building habits, and you built also, this was just a trend. This was really real ground experience. And how did you shape the way you approach building a brand? Because you were not doing that before.
No, absolutely not. No business experience over here. Hands up.
That's why this is such an amazing story.
But I really attribute a lot of what I learned from watching coaches lead and watching the people around me build this. I was part of the national championship team at LSU.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got the rings, and we earned those rings because we worked together as a team, but it was more so the daily deposits every single day. And then in terms of going back to your question, not to divert, but going back to your question, how did I build the brand? I didn't guess. I literally asked them. I sat them down and it was car conversations that led to, okay, what will literally make you do it? Okay, this is too difficult for you to do, by your sink. You have to keep it simple for athletes. There's so much noise in sports around supplements and even just wellness enthusiasts in general. Wellness, what nutrition, what watch to wear. There's so much noise. So I really wanted to take skincare and honestly dial it down into something simple and easy. It's 20 seconds after you sweat. That's it. That's all you need to know at the end of the day. And if you care enough to know what's in it, that's that. But, I really didn't guess. I said, what do you need? And they said 20 seconds, has to smell good, and it has to look cool. I said, I think I could do that.
I think that's easy enough, right?
Right?
You did all the R&D, which is really important.
Yes.
So, and you've also built this through relationships, which is not just marketing spend. And I think this is very important for a lot of folks that are trying to launch something, that you don't necessarily need $1 million to start something, right? What have you learned about trust and especially community in building this brand? Because, I'm all about community. We're all about community building and everything. And I feel like now it's more important than ever. I'd love to hear your experience with this. Community
is the heart of the company. It is the moat for us. And, beyond the product, it's who are you serving? And for us, that's early mover sport, being the early mover in sports that are not even looked at by other brands. Because at the end of the day, athletes are athletes. We're all athletes in our own way, but really honing in on our community and engaging with them and making them feel like a part of ours. For example, one thing I do, we have all these ambassadors that we call Team GP. They're pros, they're college athletes, and they're youth. And we're looking at new logos right now for new packaging. I sent it to them, and I want them to feel like they're building this with me, because they are. That's how it started at the beginning, and that's how it continues to go. and we wouldn't know what the next product would be if we didn't ask them what they need. So that's
I love that.
the
You're
most special
approaching you
thing.
more like a tech product.
Yeah.
Versus like a product. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
gonna
Like,
I mean, I
think
saw
that's
the
great.
need for it, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend.
Yeah,
that
'cause
I
it's
know.
amazing you have user groups, you know.
Yeah, and also
people
them
never mention
buying
yeah.
it.
Yeah, because you need that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all about your groups, about your community. You could call it a user group, you can call it community, you can have both, right?
Right.
Like, because there's people that are passionate about building it with you.
Yeah,
Like, they're part of the process, and that makes them more
Totally,
special, right?
totally, 100% correct.
And with 60 million youth athletes, wow, that's a lot in North America. Oh my God. It's such a massive opportunity, Gabby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you think about scaling something that still feels so personal, really, and authentic to people, which is hygiene?
Really honing it on word of mouth
Right.
with how we're spreading awareness. And when you have a good product and it's genuinely something that people are looking for, or a solution they didn't know they need. It's a lot of education right now to establish a new category, but also to educate people on why this matters for sports and why this has to be a part of the modern day athlete's recovery.
Right.
So education is very difficult to do when you're trying to tell people about a concept that they've never heard of. So right now we're in the education kind of part of the business, but also it's starting to work into conversion with all the effort we've been doing, because people are now like, I recognize that brand, I've heard of it. And that's why our packaging was so critical. Packaging has to work really hard for you, especially as a new and emerging brand. And I was in CVS, I looked at the aisles with the guys and I was like, there's nothing here is anything they would ever pick up. So how can I make something that the pros would say, this is elite, and the kids would say, I want to be like those pros, so I want to pick it up too.
That's hard that you made it happen.
Yeah,
We'll have to
totally.
show. Yeah, you should have brought some show, but we'll.
Oh, I have some in my bag. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, in terms of scaling, it's all about who you start with, and then going up from there. You can't be the big player in the room if you're the new bulldog trying to like break in. So we've really just been very, I think, intentional about the people we connect with, and it's been working in such that bigger players in the game are now coming to us, seeing the work that we do.
I love that. And you've worked with so many high performers just throughout your career. Mm-hmm. How much of success comes down to discipline versus talent?
It's all about the daily things you do. It's about
the discipline.
It's about the discipline. And look, like I reflect a lot on my time with LSU and the national championship team and watching the discipline that the guys had, because, it's hard to be in college and it's hard to be an athlete, but to win and to really like at the highest level of eliteness, I learned from them that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So you really need to focus on the things that you need to work on and like stay focused. And that is so difficult to do for a lot of people. But, the discipline is absolutely, I don't, even with our ambassadors, I always tell them, I don't care how good you are on the field. I care about who you are as a person, because that's longevity rather than the talent that, dies out, or, maybe not, they don't have the best character. My boss, Jack Marucci, really taught me about prioritizing character over anything with who I bring on the team, who I hire, and also the athletes that I work with. So I'm really proud to uphold that through the company. And I have a lot of integrity with this brand. And
I could tell.
yeah.
That shines through. Yeah, that's really great advice.
Thank you.
And you've built a career in such a male-dominated environment.
Mm-hmm.
What has that experience been like for you?
Honestly, I feel
Very,
like
very unique too.
super, yeah. I was one of the only women in football, and then I was pretty much, yeah, it was maybe me and another woman when I worked pro soccer. And, you have to have a certain personality for people to trust you in that type of environment. But what it really taught me is that, like, I had the biggest advantage. And that was because for something like skincare, these guys were coming to me. They were going to the other
the
men.
guy's not going to invent the skincare.
So for
line.
particularly starting this business, I mean, it had its challenges in other areas of being a woman in sports, but I never victimized myself. I always just showed up to work, did my job, and continued. And that's something I die on. Like, I just did my job, did what I had to do, and I never said, oh, this is it really sucks that I'm a girl, today. I never said that. But, like, in terms of the business, huge advantage, because they were all telling me what they needed and they weren't telling anybody else, because they didn't feel like they they, I guess, could relate to them on that level. So I feel really lucky in that sense.
Almost like a sister, kind of like.
Yeah. I'm like a mentor and a friend.
That.
You know, I'm friends with a lot of the athletes that I worked with in the past now. We have long-term relationships, but, you know, I have the same friends that I had in high school. So it's kind of like just part of who I am.
I love that. And we talk a lot about style on this podcast, and I love how stylish your jersey is. And how do you think about your own presence, both on and off the field?
Oh.
And how has that evolved, you know, since you started your own brand?
Well, let me tell you, Anna, like let me tell you, I really didn't have a personal style or identity until later in life because I work so much. And when you were working football, I was in khakis and a polo every single day. So there's really not
literally have like 20 of them.
Yeah, like that's
pull out the same thing.
Totally, and like and they were actually men's khakis, I think, and a men's polo. So I was like a box, you know, and I had to wear issued team clothing, and I really didn't deviate from that because I wasn't really, you know, my personal life. Like I was so focused on work. So I was at the facility all day long, you know, doing all the things. But my personal style really came through because like I took, you know, I'm a sporty person. I work in sports, I have a sweat niche product, and I love being on the field. So I try to bring athleticism to everything I do, but big part of my style is also like my jewelry. I mean, I have 11
I see
piercings.
you look at the beautiful rings. Yeah, I think it's all amazing. But that style, though, that's like your thing.
Yeah,
you did something.
I mix metals. I have no rules. I think I have 3 different earrings in when it's like, you know, nothing matches, but it's just like.
But it looks cool.
Yeah.
It's trendy and stylish.
Oh, yeah. So I would say disruptive if I were to say anything. And then just like, I'm very Gabby.
Gabby, I love it. And Gabby, what are your non-negotiables? Like the habits that you keep you grounded and performing at your best?
I have to box twice a week. I box down in Coral Gables. Shout out Lionheart. They're the best. But, you know, I go there because it really is like my stress release. And there's nothing better than when you're mad than hitting a bag. So that's what I have to do. And then maybe not a healthy habit, but one that I laugh about with my friends. I have to have a fruit roll up before bed as my treat.
Really? Oh my god, that's like not even unhealthy. That's like such a cute habit.
I'm like stuck in 2020 and the 2000s. Like I love fruit roll.
Where do you even buy that now? Do they sell?
Yeah, they do. You can get the value. You can get the value pack in Publix, but that's at the end of the day when I know the work is done.
That's your treat, right?
That's
like your reward.
And I like sometimes I'm like, man, I want one, but I'm like, nah, I gotta keep working, you know? Like so it's like it's that discipline and it's getting through the day. But you know, you gotta do something nice for yourself, I realized very early on. So for me the nice thing is working out. The second nice thing is, you know, having a fruit roll up before bed.
I love that. And for anyone listening who sees a gap or like a problem that they want to solve and they want to build something, but they don't know where to start, what advice would you give them? Kind of like the 3 things they could do.
Yeah. So, you know, everybody wants to start a business because they think it's freedom in a lot of ways. And they think it's like.
Actually, the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the complete opposite. It is actually, I've never worked harder than working for myself. And I worked in a very difficult climate when I was in sports. But what I would tell people is don't start a business because you want money, because, you know, whatever that underlying reason is. Start because you truly believe that you're going to help people and make the world a better place. Because at the end of the day, when it gets really tough, you need that passion behind it to be your biggest driver. I have a ton of passion. I never plan on starting a business, but I have so much, you know, integrity in what I've built, but also the problem that I'm truly solving. And that's to give adults, people, more confidence and less insecurities in things that can be controlled around sweat. So my advice to you would be don't start a business because, you know, you want the benefits of maybe selling a business or doing very well in business. Start it because you really are truly behind it and have that passion and that fire to keep going, even when it gets tough. Not every day is up. Some days are like really down.
All those days. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's amazing advice. Thank you so much, Gabby.
Thank you.
And I can see your passion for this business.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hope this is one of your more fun interviews.
Yes, it is. All right, well, now we have to hear about these shoes that you brought.
Oh,
Yes, tell us
I've been
about
dying
these.
because I was like, ooh, I don't know how to
Describe them
respond.
first for the people that are not watching.
Okay, so these are Nike cleats and they're beat up
And they're Tiffany's blue color though.
they're Tiffany blue. They're like Miami kind of like vice colors, you know. And the story behind the shoes and why I brought them is because these are actually gifted to me when I was working in pro soccer. I was you can call it try hard, but it wasn't. I genuinely worked my ass off. And the guys saw me like sprint on the field because that's what I used to do in football. But in soccer, you don't have to run as fast as I was running. But I was like, I was really getting out there to them when they were on the ground, like, because I was like, oh my gosh. So at the end of this, you know, they were like, you don't have to do that, you know, all this stuff. But at the end of it, they, you know, they got together and they had all pooled some money together and they bought me these shoes because they said, like, I remember Richie Ballard said to me, we feel like you just haven't unleashed your potential with how fast you can go on the field. And we want to give you these because you're, you know, you're part of the team and because you should be wearing cleats. Every trainer wears cleats except for me because this was my first year with soccer. I had no idea. So it means a lot because that team not only was like my focus group for GamePlan, it was testing the product and helping me build the business, but they also all became very close to me. And I was the only trainer. There was, you know, 20 something guys and I was taking care of that, like working really hard. So they appreciated me and brought me peace at a time in my life when I really needed it. So these shoes mean a lot in that way. And that's why I brought them. And also just because, you know, I always say like, you know, I just started wearing like real shoes. So I don't have a lot, but I'm a sneakers type of girl. I'm active. So
yeah,
these
those
really,
are cute. I like them.
these really are me. And, you know, I still wear them when I do sprint workouts. So shout out Miami FC and shout out to all those boys. I'm actually going to one of their weddings this fall. So, I mean,
That's
this
beautiful.
winter. So I'm so excited. Yeah.
I love to hear
That's why I
stories
brought the
like
shoes. It's like walk a mile on my shoes. These got a lot of miles on them.
They look, yeah, they look like. All right, Gabby, let's do this or that.
Okay, let's do it.
Early workouts or evening resets?
Evening, I am a nighttime.
See, I'm the opposite.
Oh my gosh, I wish. I box. I must go at like 6:30 p.m.
Oh, wow.
But it's vibes at night.
Yeah, no, Miami is perfect. Like, you're like in the perfect city. Minimal routine or full regimen?
I say keep it simple.
Agreed.
I say keep it simple. You don't need 12 steps. You need like three really good ones.
Three really good ones, agreed.
That's-
Gym bag essentials or beauty shelf?
Oh my gosh. This is hard. I mean, I have my gym bag essentials for sure, but I love makeup. I love it.
That's great.
So I would say beauty shelf actually.
Yes. Discipline or intuition? Or both?
I would say both. You got to have the discipline as your foundation, but you have to have the intuition to really follow your gut. And if your gut leads you in the right direction, you're on the right track.
Yep, and a lot of people don't listen to that.
Oh, I listen. I'm a gut girl.
You're a
I'm
gut girl. I love it, Gabby. You got all these G's. Sweat it out or rest day?
Sweat it out. Oh,
Always.
yeah. I'm the sweatiest girl alive, and I'm proud of it.
And you're the perfect spokesperson for your brand. Hey. Athleisure or elevated street style?
Oh, elevated street style.
Yeah, I don't see you in athleisure. I don't
No,
think that's your vibe.
I'm not like a matching set type of girl. I'm like a...
Me either.
I either look like...
I like to like mix my sets.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, at home, I look like straight up Adam Sandler, like home, like, you know, just big t-shirt. But I love the, like, when I go out, I'm elevated street style, I think.
Love it.
With a classy touch.
Hair up or hair down? I feel like I see you with hair down most of the time.
Really? Yeah. I mean, my hair is usually always up. This is just like my
podcast hair.
I'm in sport mode right now.
Yes.
I'm in sport mode right now. But when I go home, it's gone up. But I would say both. I would say both.
Love it. Quick rinse or full reset shower?
Full everything shower.
Yes,
Like I'm like
agreed.
scrubbing. I'm like getting back there with my soap, and you know, I love to take a long shower. So that's definitely that.
Yes, that feels so good.
Gotta be clean.
Yeah.
Gotta be clean.
Performance first or aesthetic first?
Performance for first or aesthetic? Performance.
Yes.
Performance for sure. Like, because
that's all that matters.
Right. Right. You can look good, but if you're not performing good, or like perform, like it's all kind of up to your, you know, perception is reality, but performance has to win. You got to perform.
1000%. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for bringing such a unique and fun perspective to this conversation. What I love about what you're building is that it's rooted in something so simple, but also so powerful. The idea that small habits create big results, not just with your skin, but also with your business and with your life and everything that you do. To everyone listening, whether you're an athlete, a founder, or just someone trying to show up better every day, remember this: the things you do consistently, the routines you commit to, those are what shape your actual performance, not just in sport, but in actual life.
Love it. Thank you for having me.
Mwah.
This is so fun.
Yay, well now you get to pick a pair of the shoes that you think represents you. Take a photo.
I'm so
Yeah, so
excited.
I don't know what you're gonna pick. I'm
Oh.
thinking maybe sneakers, but maybe you'll step out of your sneaker zone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I was trying to look on the other podcast. I was like, let me.
Yeah, you're like, which one am I gonna do?
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a big decision. I'm gonna pick these.
Yes, I love those. I
I'm
can
gonna
see
pick
actually
these.
they would go with the fit you have.
And the reason why is because I'm usually in all black or like leopard.
Yes.
Because my grandmother used to wear a ton of leopard when she was
Oh my
like-
god, I love that.
So this reminds me of that, and then it got a little fun on the front, and I'm like a rhinestone studs type of girl, so these are perfect for me.
Amazing.